Dog Gadgets. Live!
Hi there. Happy Friday.
Friday.
Yes.
Yes.
Friday. Hi, I'm Josh from Brown Dog Gadgets. As always, here with our producer, Pete.
Hey,
He's not just a disembodied hand. He's a person with real feelings and emotions and credit cards.
One, anyway.
Yes. We're here on Friday to talk about fun STEM things and activities and kind of what we're doing. By the way, you can find all the things we're talking about, projects and whatnot, on browndoggadgets.com. And if you like what you see here today, you can find all these fun things on our social media accounts where we occasionally remember to post things, projects we're working on, lesson plans, directions, activities. All of our stuff is always free. So if you're a teacher or a librarian or parent at home with children, or just an adult who wants to do some fun activities, our resources are there for free, whether or not you ever want to buy anything from us. So, yeah, check it out. But anywho, it's Friday. We do like a Friday hangout.
Yeah.
If you have questions, post it in the Twitter.
Questions,
Facebook.
comments, advice, jokes, anything.
Yeah. Did somebody already comment already?
Yeah, look at this one. Hold on. Fired up.
It's almost as if Pete
that was me.
commented just to make sure our chat options are working.
It's related to today's sharing, so.
It's true.
Yeah.
Sorry. Allergies are killing me.
Oh,
not
the
COVID.
allergies again.
Brought to you by Ragweed and
Oh,
Cottonwood. Thank you, Midwest. But no, we're going to talk about some fun things we've been working on, different things we're doing up in the near future, and some just, fun projects we've kind of got kicking around. This is just a ask us questions. We have random questions if you want to check out cool projects or whatnot. And we just get people asking us weird questions all the time. So enough of looking at my face on a big screen. Let's look at my face on a little tiny screen in the corner. Little Josh. So we've got a table full of cradola here.
Wow.
So we're going to talk about a few things that are popping up on our website, one or the other. And the first of those things is something we've kind of shown off a little while now. It's our new solar bug kit, which isn't on the website yet. It will be very shortly. This is actually just our first draft of our packaging. As we're missing a UPC and a picture on the back, this is the picture we're using to take it, to take some other photos with. But this is something we've been working on for a while. It's a vibrating paper craft with a solar panel, a vibrating motor, some foam tape, and some maker tape, our nylon tape, conductive tape, to hook everything together. And it does vibrate around the table quite well. We have like a 4-pack here for $25 we'll be having up on our website. If you have some similar materials or just want to do a straight up VibroBot version of this without the solar panel involved, we have these different templates, these different bug templates we're using, and far, far more. I think we have like 8 or 9. Andy, our curriculum writer, is posting slowly on our website. So you can print these guys off, color them, and use them. We actually do an interesting little approach with the bottom of these, where we put self-sticking googly eyes, 4 of them on the bottom. Gives a nice smooth contact point for moving around. Also gives a little rattle sound. So like bees or whatnot make a buzzing, this kind of adds a little buzzing sound effect. And this is an offshoot of our solar cockroach, which was the first project I ever posted on the internet, actually, Pete. While still teaching. Sound effects, which I can never hear because I can't hear them.
When you watch it later, you can hear them.
He always like, watch it later, John.
Don't you? I watch it every night when I get home.
My wife used to watch these.
Yeah.
She's just like, I see enough of you.
Okay.
But this will be a project we'll be putting up on our website, both in a small version, a home version, and then a classroom set as well. Just because the solar cockroach sells decently well for us. It always has. Our current solar bug version is a wooden version. It worked, but it was never to our liking. Like it'd be because we should be able to do more, and so we've slowly been kicking this around and finally putting a kit together. But Andy, our curriculum writer, drew this up. There's also legs and wings and whatnot that'll come as cardstock cutouts as well. So you could add those in. He's currently making a honeybee, so a honeybee body, and then there's going to be wings and legs for that little dude. I think the other one is a dung beetle on the opposite side of that one.
Yes, I think a
because
dung.
we bullied him into putting a dung beetle on the backside.
Yes.
But these are fun. They're easy, and with sunlight, they do vibrate around. It's a great solar activity and a cheap price point. We have a comment?
Josh, do you know who Kat is? She's got a science club, or he or she.
Thanks. Actually,
such great
we've
stuff
talked
you
to Cat
share.
Science Club before. I
There you
recognize
go.
that. Thanks, Cat Science
I like
Club.
cats.
He does. Pete has 3 cats.
Too. Well, I have a cat. My wife has one, and her cat has a cat. But there are 3 that live at our house.
It's a Russian doll kind of situation.
It's kind of like that, yeah.
But anywho, this will be up. And again, these are going to be free templates as well. If you want to use your own solar panels, do your own project with them. Our design is pretty easy using our self-sticking motor and our maker tape to make it a non-soldering project. So you could easily grab
Whoa,
cheap panels
wait.
off
Did
of
you
other
say
projects.
maker tape? Is that how you... What? Maker tape?
Yes, our really awesome nylon conductive tape, which Pete goes, what? You say everything we do with maker tape, it's the same thing. But yeah, we actually include a small roll of the maker tape in these kits, or will be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great tape. If you ever done anything with copper foil, this is just way better. And if you're a teacher or librarian, ask us and we'll send you a free sample, because once you start using that,
Josh, did you say ask us? Kat here's got a little question. Maybe you can you read that?
Yes, I can.
Read it out loud for the audience.
Oh, we have copper foil and tried some circuit cards with our camps with poor success. Is your circuit tape better than that foil? Cat Science Club.
Wow.
Yes, I read at least an 8th grade level, Pete. Yes, it is. Cat Science Club, email us or call us later. Yeah, or Facebook us. We'll send you a little 5-meter roll, 16 feet of it. Much better. It's conductive on top and bottom. You just overlap 2 pieces to make a solid connection. If somebody makes it too short or too long, just tape down your parts. It literally changed the way we did all of our paper circuits projects. On our website, we can do so many different variations, like different types of battery holders, put it on walls, windows, hats, fabric, make a wearable shirt with conductive tape on it because it's a nylon tape. It's a fabric tape. So it fixes every issue you ever had with copper foil. This fixes it. The one thing it doesn't do, the one thing, you cannot solder to it, which always kind of in my head, I'm like, why would you want to solder to copper foil tape? Wouldn't you just use a wire instead? But apparently some people really like soldering to copper foil tape on paper, which defeats the purpose of paper and non-soldering. So Pete over here has actually made some very complicated circuits. You'll find some of those on our website. We've been doing some activities, I think I put them away, but with transistors and resistors and LEDs and light detecting resistors with our nylon tape to much success. Easy peasy interactive circuits. So Cat Science Club, email us or whatnot. We'll send you a free sample to mail on Monday.
Josh, I don't have it ready, but next week I'm going to have a fun new project that uses maker tape that I think you'll enjoy.
Oh?
Yeah, I can't. It's not done. I'll finish this weekend, maybe.
He just makes things and they appear online. I'm like, okay, sure. Great. Good week, guys. Good week. But yeah, I mean, we actually, speaking of that tape, the maker tape, we do tape down the wires off our little vibrating motor here. We get in frame. And that's how we connect it. We don't solder. We use that. So it's easy. It's super simple. And that maker tape just changes everything for everybody when it comes to doing paper crafts. Once you go with the nylon tape and see how easy it is for the kids to use and for you to use, you're never going to want to touch copper foil again.
Josh, to flip that over again, let's look at how that's taped down. So now, as I understand it, the tape isn't just holding the wire to the contact, but all that tape is conductive, so it's actually the wire is getting conductive, top and bottom.
So there's actually a little silver dot where the panel connects from the front to the back on here, because there's really this little circuit board that little solar conductive material on there, solar wafers, and this little piece of conductive tape is really connecting that silver dot and the wire together. So that they make a strong electrical connection, and they're just taped down. So even if you weren't exactly on, you have a pretty good chance of having electrical connection because the tape is conductive. It's touching the two things. You're good. And definitely check our website. We have an area called in our paper circuits area of our documentation area for both basic paper circuits, where it's 5 or 6 lessons on just basic paper circuits, and an advanced area, where it's using transistors and a few bigger projects to do larger activities. Even Pete did one with an AT-Tiny 8.5 pre-programmed chip where it's different LEDs are blinking and fading with it, and that's all tape-based. We had Alex Glow the other weekend use the conductive tape and just shoved it up into a hole on an Arduino connected to an LED. She just twisted the end so it was a nice little tape point, and shoved it through the hole of an Arduino Nano, and it worked just fine from that to there. It's great stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I think Cat Science Club, did there another message there?
I wanted to thank you for your gosh, what I was getting to with the tape on there is if you used like masking tape or gaff tape, it would just be where the wire touches, but this way you're flowing a little more current across everywhere.
And that's because the adhesive is conductive.
It is.
Copper foil tape, you can sometimes find ones that are like quote unquote adhesive conductive, but they're not.
Yeah.
They're not as. No. They're always unreliable. We have 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch we use for most stuff. We also have 1/8 inch, of which we're gonna move on to this guy here, which is another project Pete did. It's the campfire badge for summer camps. So Pete made this great little template. It's a 3-dimensional paper craft. So it's actually 2 layers. You can see it's got little
you can do it. That one you can color in, or that one's full color. And then the last sheet there is the circuit.
Yep, and here's a little circuit diagram.
Yeah.
There's a little fold over here, in a frame, fold over here to turn it on and off, using a paper clip just to make that firm connection on there. If you want to keep it always on, you could just not have the gap.
That's true.
But yeah, Pete made one up. This is done on our nice printer on some cardstock, the same stuff we use for our packaging and for like the solar bug. So it looks nice and shiny and nice, but you can't really see because it's a red LED on the inside, right, Pete?
It's red, yes. You might be able to see a little glow.
It's on. It's just hard to see with all the studio lights.
Just hold it. Oh, there you go.
You can see it's on. It looks much better in like dimmer lighting conditions, but this is like very similar to the way you made your rocket pendant the other day.
Yeah.
Very similar, like rocket ship with 2 LEDs, a red and a blue. Very similar. Again, this is a nice, simple wearable. It's something around the neck. You make a badge. You can color it. It's easy. It's hard to screw up for kids, and it's a nice, solid, 3-dimensional paper craft. Has a little bit of dimension to it because of that diffusion from one side to the other with that LED.
Yeah,
So,
and if you're wearing like a lighter colored shirt, especially, like lights up your whole shirt kind of. So as it's aiming up. Cool beans indeed. You can find that where.
BrownDogGadgets.com. Yep, it's up on our website. Again, free download.
Yeah.
I keep harping on this because some people are like, oh, you have to buy your products. Like, no, you don't.
No, you
If
don't.
a bunch of copper foil tape in your school or your library, or you want to use some aluminum tape or whatnot. You have LEDs. Use the materials you have. And most things you can do pretty easily with our things. Our Maker Tape does have some nice advantages. Just the ease of use and some of the way we do our battery holders. But you can always easily modify things to work with other materials. And the things are there. If you like your stuff, maybe later one day you'll buy something. Who cares? We just like putting our resources up there. It's a main form of advertising, and you'll see all these things. Oh, we can't. 2 cameras. Oh my god.
What's next?
All right. Well, let's talk about a project that Pete's actually working on posting up on Instructables.com and then our website as well. We like posting things on Instructables every now and then for contests because we have them. We have them. We might as well post things and win a free T-shirt or a mug. I'd say those Instructables mugs are really, really snazzy.
Oh, yeah,
I don't drink coffee, but people who do drink coffee in my house like using those mugs.
Josh, I'm sorry, but Kat's got one more.
Oh my gosh, Cat Science Club. So many nice questions.
There you go.
Honestly, Cat Science Club, it comes from like me being a teacher and being super, super, super annoyed that all the resources for a cool product were behind a paywall. And even now you see that a lot where like, honestly, you see the first page of like a lesson plan or of a packet and then you have to pay to see the rest. And I swear I have seen a few where the first chapter is really great and the quality drops like a rock once you get to page like chapter 2, page 2. So we like to make sure like people can see our resources. And again, if you don't like our products, great. Use our resources, maybe recommend to somebody else. It's great free advertising for us, and maybe one day you'll want to try our stuff.
Well, teachers have tons of money. They can go behind paywalls.
And everything. A lot of what we do is consumable. So if you don't like one thing we do, maybe you like something different. You like our solar bug, or you like our crazy circuit stuff. It behooves us to There you go.
Behooves.
That's a good 5-cent word.
Yeah.
To put our stuff up there for free because it is a collaborative thing in the maker world.
Yeah.
And also, you see all the cool stuff we do. Like, these guys know their stuff. But anyway, this is a little robot we showed off before. It's a little. Basically, it's a wall avoiding robot. It's a very common Arduino project.
Yeah.
We've got 2 little servos. These are our Lego servos we sell on our website. They're 360-degree servos, so they kind of act like a motor, just a little bit of control on there. We've got a fairly standard Arduino distance sensor. You can find these on Amazon for a couple of dollars. I think we're going to put them up on the website. We've had them for like a year now, but I just haven't sold the sensors on our website because our straight-up Arduino stuff doesn't sell super well on our website. It's usually the smaller stuff. These usually are great in kits. Sell all the big kits, but not the parts individually. Anyway, this is our robotics board. Things are plugged into it. And on the backside, it's a Lego caster wheel, ball bearing that we got. I bought like a 6-pack of these on eBay ages ago. This is, I don't think, official Lego. I think it's a knockoff, but you'll never.
Seems to work okay.
It works great as a third point. I know for a while Pete was just putting like a Lego tower here, and it was dragging on the backside, which worked fine on a smooth surface like this.
Yeah.
Not so much carpet.
No.
I mean, this is a great little project just for a wall avoiding robot. You can do a lot of things. Sometimes people do little light detecting sensors for like a line following robot. This is just goes until it sees a wall, stops, turns, keeps going. So it'll just make little rounds and annoy the animals in the office. But we're going to put this up on Instructables on our website as here's the code, here are the parts involved. The chassis, I like this because the chassis is always a tough thing for Legos. I tried doing that like a tank tread chassis. Way too much work.
Oh.
This is just, these are little, I think these are, what are they?
I know the part number because I looked it up. I
these
just don't.
guys?
I don't remember it.
I think they're pulley. They are officially pulleys with a rubber wheel on it. So these aren't official wheels for Lego Technics, but they're pulleys with a little rubber topper on them, which work well as wheels.
Yeah.
I've seen people actually just use them in big gears.
Yeah.
As long as there's a little grip, who cares?
And there's other wheels that
yeah,
that fit that axle, right? There's a bunch.
It's just a standard Lego
Yeah.
axle
Yep.
on here, which is why we like these servos and include these in some of our in our classroom sets, which is just handy.
Yeah.
First, trying to use a regular servo and trying to shoehorn
Yeah.
into the Lego system.
Trying to connect to that.
Because really, besides a couple of like Lego Technic axles and this guy, the rest of this is just Lego, just standard Lego parts. They've got a couple Lego Technic pieces here for the look of it. But Pete also 3D printed this holder right here for the distance sensor.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. I know I've built
Right.
one out of just Lego pieces. If you Google how to like distance sensor, Arduino distance sensor in Lego, there's a couple guides like here are the pieces you need to make one, and just a few Lego pieces.
For the instructions, I'll kind of note that, you can print this or you can attach it with, rubber band or some tape or build up some Lego around it. And there's a lot of ways to do it.
These distance sensors are so inexpensive these days.
Yeah.
Even on Amazon, like $350 each. So I like them. They're really handy. They're easy to use. One day I'll get around to doing the very classic project of making an actual like quote unquote radar system.
Yeah.
If you look around for these distance sensors, one of the projects like at a kind of a high school or college level, people have the distance sensor hooked up to a servo that sweeps back and forth and displays a almost real time display of like things in front of it, like a radar sweep, through a processing program.
Yeah.
Very simple program. Somebody
Serial
wrote.
communications, yes.
It looks it's all green, like black with green on it, so it looks very like 70s and 80s radar.
Yes.
Which is fine, but it just if you put an object, a can of Coke, it'll show that there's something there at a certain distance, and it's not the most accurate thing, but it is like a very simple radar demonstration.
Yeah.
That is, you can put something there and it shows there are objects there.
Nice.
Great, super basic, and something that servo distance sensor, glue the two together, hook
Yeah.
to an Arduino. It is darn simple for plug. It's just getting that processing sketch to work. Oh,
Josh,
Cat Science Club is really
So Josh, these Arduinos, they look complex, right? Can you tell us anything?
Cat Science Club. So an Arduino is the cockroach of microcontroller. I say that because it is. It's like the go-to hobby.
Because they're everywhere?
Because they're everywhere.
Okay.
For the longest time, even 3D printers had typically had an Arduino as like the core early on with to receive the data from a computer. They're inexpensive. They're literally everybody has them. If you're looking to get into programming, an Arduino is a good place to start. There's a bit of a learning curve. If you really want to go like the most simple route possible, pick up a microbit, which is a different programmable board. They're about $18 on Amazon. They have a nice visual drag and drop programming interface through the Microsoft MakeCode website. We've only just started playing with it because we have a Lego-based Crazy Circuits board for those that we are getting quotes on right now. Probably do a Kickstarter and start selling them this fall. But it's a really nice visual format for drag and drop programming, and even using stuff like sensors in it is pretty simple and easy. And you can just toggle back and forth in the Microsoft MakeCode from like visual drag and drop to actual code.
Yeah.
But Arduino's not tough, especially doing things like Blink, using simple things, or just dragging in other people's programs, copy and paste. It's not a tough learning curve. It is just a little bit of a learning curve. It just depends on how much work you want to put in there. If you want to replicate someone's stuff, we are putting up free curriculum for Arduino-based learning using this system. That's what Andy, our curriculum writer, has been working on for quite a while now. Pete's doing some different projects using this board right here and some sensors and posting them online very shortly. But it's a bit of a learning curve, but you can do it. It's not that tough to get the basics going. But again, a microbit's also a good way to go. Heck, buy a microbit and buy an Arduino Uno, a cheap one, or one of the cheap Arduino kits off of Amazon. give it a try, see if you like it. I mean, they're there. You get some cheap kits with parts for less than $50, or just an Arduino Uno for. If you get the cheap Chinese clone for under $10.
Yeah, under $5 sometimes.
Yeah, get the cheap Chinese one because it'll work the same. But
Josh, we'll probably build this project with microbit as well in the future.
we will. That's going to be one of the things we're doing. We're going to actually do most of the projects that Pete's putting together right now for Arduino with the microbit as well, just to show same components, just a different way of activating and programming stuff. Because it is just 2 servos, a distance sensor. And by the way, this project is actually powered by a power bank, a little USB power bank that slides in here. So just simple and easy. You could use a battery pack as well.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little. It's a simple demo because 3 years ago when we did our Kickstarter campaign for Crazy Circuits, I made a overly complicated tank. There's a video up there, like a nice little GIF of the tank going across the screen over and over again. It's just it was a bit of effort building that chassis, and this is just so much easier than doing that. But yeah, Lego's a great platform, so why not use that?
Definitely.
So anyway, Cat Science Club, seriously, call us if you have questions. We're full of helpful. We've tried out so many things between like the 3 or 4 of us here that we can give you advice. We're like, hey, if you don't like this, try this other thing that's similar-ish. Because we'd like to try all the crazy stuff around there.
Indeed.
So we got one last thing to show off.
Yeah. Oh, flip.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big thing. So we've been kicking around some ideas for some like unconventional clocks.
Do you want overhead still, or?
We'll go overhead because this
Okay.
is
Yeah, let's get a look at this
holding
thing.
them. I'll just refocus.
Let's get some focus there.
There we go.
Whoa, we go.
So this is a inexpensive flip clock, the like 1970s like first digital clock where things actually flip. Also,
wait, digital?
Yeah,
I don't see any LEDs or LCDs in there.
it's got digits.
It does.
And it's
And it's either a 1 or a 0, sort of, right?
Yeah.
It's now halfway
I
there.
think some people call this like the Groundhog's Day clock because that's kind of where if you watch a movie that's presented very frequently in that film.
Gotcha.
But you can pick these up off of Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Don't buy them off eBay; they're insanely expensive. We got like 4 of these for $15 from somebody in in Chicago. Was nice enough to mail them to us. But we're gonna idea is to do some fun clocks, but using some other components along with this mechanical setup. Because even though this clock radio is kind of crap, it is. I mean,
Doesn't it have weather on it though?
it does. It actually has an actual like you push a button to get like the emergency
National Weather
band.
Service.
There
Yeah.
you go. You press this if it was on, and the radio actually works perfectly fine. But a lot of people like to take the this clock section out because it's just an AC motor on here. So just attach a standard wall plug into it, and it's good. You can even replace this neon. It's actually I think a neon or xenon, some noble gas light here with a modern equivalent, and AC power looks nice. But they're really fascinating just because they're so simple and that little flip. Pete was mentioning that due to his advanced age, he had one of these growing up. Because Pete is old.
Yeah, and every minute. The funny thing too, like if you were trying to like fall asleep at night, every minute, click from the little flip. It was quiet enough, but I'm trying to fall asleep, and you're ready to count sheep because you can't sleep anyway.
But they're fascinating. They really are.
Yeah, it really is cool.
They are simple and well thought out. They really only lasted a little while until like 7-segment displays kind of got cheap. But there was a chunk of time like in the 70s. I think this is between like Nixie tubes and 7-segment displays. There were these guys for like a digital version. And you actually find modern versions of these, like the nostalgia craze has come back around. It's been long enough. You find modern day, like not too, it's like $20-$30 for like a modern equivalent one of these guys. But it's always fun to like take the mechanics out, save it, use the original stuff because they're good, and even the motors just like a little WD-40, a little bit of like sewing machine oil.
Yeah, I've seen people who kind of use that mechanism to design and build their own, following that flip thing.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
So many great ways to display information, and this is just a really funky and weird way to do it. That like the fact that there's so many of these
big
little
stack of like thin. It's super thin piece of like probably aluminum, right? It's like paper thin, pretty much.
At some point, there's one of the numbers has like Japan written on it,
yes.
Because there's a little bit of goober on that guy, but yeah, somewhere it says Japan on it because I think it was originally made in Japan. Has to have its legal. You can see some of these are not. This guy has seen better days, but he still works fine. Plug it in, it works. But that's a project we're kind of kicking around, a couple of projects and ideas of just removing this out, and we got a couple of them to try. I look around at a Goodwill for like 6 months, like every now and then stop at a Goodwill, and found I have another one that, again, just this part works, the clock, but not the radio really.
Yeah.
That one is really broken. But just, plug it in, let it do its thing, and it's pretty funky. And yeah, but it's Friday. And if any other questions, now is the time to ask. I know we're in like a slight time delay, but now's the time to ask questions. Next week, we're going to do, finally get my button gear. We're going to do a Maker Tape speaker. Ooh, Maker Tape speaker, which is a project up on our website under Advanced Paper Circuits. And we have it's all over there on the other table, but we're actually going to show that as a step-by-step on Tuesday. We're going to make sure it happens on Tuesday. I keep mentioning we're going to do it. But we're
Should I bring in my 1,200 watt amplifier or not?
1,200 watts.
I think it's 1,200 maybe.
Yeah, that the cheap one from Goodwill over there, which is like a 200, like a 90s, like 200 watt system.
Okay.
If we crank it up all the way, it gets a pretty good sound off of it, but at a certain point it does actually, the Maker Tape gets a little warm at a certain amperage, and I think we hit that like about 2 amps worth of power through there.
Yeah.
And it does get a little warm. So
Not hot, but warm.
It does, warm. Warm is a state of being.
Warm.
Warm, like our Mac Mini over here running this live
It's just
stream.
warm.
It doesn't get
It's not
hot.
No.
Apple, thank you.
Apple said it doesn't get hot. It just gets warm.
It's warm. I think warm is 100 degrees Celsius, up to 100 degrees. After 100 degrees, then it gets hot. And hot is bad for computer parts.
It is. You're right.
But anywho, if there's we'll be doing some fun stuff next week. Maybe get somebody in for an interview on Thursday. I don't know. We're trying to post a bunch of stuff now on websites. We've kind of been working pretty heavily on getting stuff out for camps who have been coming to us for stuff right now, especially a lot of camps taking things home or needing things to be taken home, doing a lot of custom things, which takes a lot of labor. So we've been back there packaging stuff. And also that and getting our solar bugs kind of up and running, because there's that little process of all the fun graphics. Making it was easy. It was all the graphics and packaging and getting resources made up. That takes a while.
It does.
So, cool beans.
There you are.
So
Big time.
Okay. Plus, Pete's got
Hold up the clock. Show how big it is compared to your face.
like this is the entire
Giant.
thing.
It's heavy.
Not that
Now you can fit a radio inside of an Altoids tin probably.
I mean, it's decently sized. I've undone all the screws. If I lean it too far, one of the other things start falling off.
Yeah.
Took out too many screws. But now these things are pretty simple and interesting, and I've just always been fascinated by that mechanism on there.
Show them the windy thing. How the tuning with the windy string thing.
Pete really likes the fact that on these old systems, this is going back to like the 1920s and 30s. You open up an old tube radio, but for tuning, there's a mechanism like a string that moves the dial around. So it's a big piece of string around here that's going everywhere, which is usually if a radio dial doesn't work, it's because the string has snapped, because it literally is a piece of string or it's gotten really loose.
Have you replaced those strings ever? Is it a closed loop system, or is it like attached on each end?
On this one, I think it's no, it actually does have an end point on here. It has
Okay.
2 ends.
Gotcha.
I have not ever restrung a radio before. That's not on my
Sounds
list of
weird.
to do before I die things.
Right.
Well, you have a YouTube comment, Pete.
Yeah, it's from Kat again. Kat says, "Very cool, nicely done. Thanks for sharing."
Cool
If you can
beans.
read that there, so that was nice.
Look, we were missing
Maker
John Chavone.
Oh, John, I don't know where
John,
John
if you're out
is.
there, we miss you. He was
He's not there.
a constant commenter. We
Yeah,
haven't seen him for a
yeah.
while. But now, we just make the YouTube channel like several hours of man staring at camera while turning a radio knob back and forth. That should just
I
be
think
our new channel.
that'll get the views,
It'll get all the likes.
especially if we
and subscribes.
switch to this one where they can't see it.
Man stares blankly at screen. No, if you like our stuff, please subscribe, like our stuff.
That's our close up.
It's Friday. We're kind of tired.
It's subscribe.
We got paperwork to do on a Friday. But no,
Okay.
we'll be posting some fun things. Because originally it started out, Pete, because I really wanted to make a flip clock timer for my old school stereo system.
Oh, yeah,
Got a bunch
yeah.
of old Pioneer stereo equipment, which I
Right.
like to use for radio, CDs, and vinyl. And back in the 70s, Pioneer, amongst other people, made little timer systems that you could
Yeah.
plug your receiver and your radio into or whatnot, multiple devices. But the idea was that at a certain time, like an alarm, it would click on, turning on your tape player or your reel-to-reel and your radio, so that it would record stuff for you, basically recording radio stations on the fly. And the original one Pioneer had back in the 70s, the JT215A model, also known as the PP215 and PP215 in Japan. Oh, yes, I know the Japan model number. Was a flip-clock version. And it really is just literally this mechanism on here, because it's an alarm mechanism. It's all it is, alarm. Instead of an alarm going off, it just clicked on like these two AC outlets that you had things plugged into. Super easy and simple. And I imagine super similar to this, just with a little AC switch on the inside. Finding one of those is a pain in the rear. And I thought, you know what? At the time, a while back, we had a CNC router here that we could mill out like an aluminum face, plug one of these guys in, and just have like a nice little metal-faced flip clock, which would look great. It's the one I have from Goodwill. I originally wanted to do that with. Just I never got around to that. I have everything in a box in the back. But that's kind of a project I kind of want to get to again, just to make something similar that looks very 70s, keeps the aesthetics, keeps the original mechanism, but doesn't cost me like $200 plus shipping from Japan to get one or to find one, because I can never find one. Pioneer moved to the early like Fluoroscan, like LCD screens, blue ones. Those are the ones you can easily find. They're nice. They look great. But I love the flip clock aspect, because it's that unique aspect, and it's so weird. And I just see one of those like cats with the eyes that move back and forth in the tail.
Those are fun. I love cats.
Yes, as we learned, Pete's cat. Pete likes cats so much. His cat has a cat. Versus our curriculum writer Andy, who is just like no cats ever. Anti-cat. And my dog, who is on the table below here, groaning loudly because he likes cats, but he doesn't want to share his house with one. Anyway, on that note, we're going to get the heck out of here.
We've got 10 people, though, so... Okay,
oh, my gosh, but no one's commenting.
No comments or questions?
It's great background sound. It's like turning on the radio and just not really listening. We could just have a live stream channel of just Chips the dog wiggling around the office or sleeping on something. You just watch him sleep on a couch half the day, because stringers are great. But we're just bringing it out of here because I do have more work to get done on a Friday.
Wait, hold on. Cat's got one more. Ready? Just a smiley. All right, it's nice.
Cats. Thanks, Cats.
Very nice.
Not Dr. Katz, which was a great show on MTV cartoon. But,
it was. Okay. Anything else today?
I'm done.
No?
You're done, Pete?
No, we're done.
All right, we're going to
All right.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Take care.
Right.
Happy weekend.
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media at browndoggadgets. Check out our live streams at Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We'll see you next time.